Captain America 2 is happening, and it's going to be based on the Winter Soldier story from the comics. That means it's time for a Marvel history lesson. Just who is the Winter Soldier? Watch out, true believers. There'll be spoilers here. Everyone remembers Cap's partner Bucky, aka James Barnes.
The 107th, Sergeant James Barnes.
In the comics, he was lost in the same explosion that turned Cap into a capsicle.
Bucky!
And actually, he was one of the only characters to stay dead in the world of comics for many, many years, until Marvel finally brought him back in 2005, as, of course, the Winter Soldier. It was writer Ed Brubaker's acclaimed run on Captain America that showed us that not only had Bucky survived, but he'd also been the guy during the war who did the dirty jobs that Steve Rogers just couldn't handle. So that's why they let a kid fight in the war, huh? Anyway, it turns out that the MIA Bucky was actually recovered by the Russians. Hit with amnesia and missing an arm, he was reprogrammed and cyborged out to become a wetworks assassin for the Soviets, slipping in and out of cryosleep when needed, but never aware of who he really was, as he carried out bloody mission after bloody mission, all without remorse. Get this, it turns out he even had a thing with Black Widow during this time, which is pretty awesome. And he helped Wolverine escape from the Weapon X program. Also kinda awesome. But he killed Wolverine's pregnant wife or something? And the baby survived and grew up to be this guy? What do you want from me? It's comics. In the present day, Barnes' Russian master, General Lukin, sent him to America, where Bucky assassinated Cap's longtime foe, the Red Skull, and another of Cap's old partners named Jack Monroe. Later, it would turn out that before dying, the Red Skull transferred his mind into Lukin's body, but that doesn't really matter right now, so forget I even said it. The Winter Soldier also killed a bunch of innocent people when he blew up part of Philadelphia, but ultimately Cap tracked down Barnes with the help of another ex-partner, the Falcon. Using the good old Cosmic Cube, Cap made the former Bucky finally remember his true self, which sounds good on paper, unless you're one of the dead people lying in his wake. And actually, it wasn't really fun for Barnes either, who now had to live with the knowledge of all his crimes. Not long after this, Marvel's Civil War storyline saw Steve Rogers himself getting assassinated. But the good old US of A needs a Captain America, so Bucky put on the red, white, and blues and became the new Cap in an ongoing attempt at redemption.
I'm turning into you. This is like a horrible dream. Don't take it so hard.
But you know, nothing is forever in comics. So Rogers eventually came back to life and Barnes went back to being Winter Soldier. Knowing the Winter Soldier story raises as many questions as it answers about Cap 2. What will Bucky's return mean for Cap? Will he be a villain? Will the Red Skull be back? Will Cap die? Will Bucky replace Cap? And here's the biggest question of them all. What does this mean for Avengers 2? Only time will tell, but if you have any questions between now and 2014, maybe it's finally time to get that S.H.I.E.L.D. application in.